Let's have a chat to the Mayor of Orange, Reg Kidd, who's joining us now from the central west of New South Wales, one of these drought-affected mayors. Nice to see you on the TV, mate. Hello, Mr Mayor.
Terrific, Reg, it is, Paul. Nice to be here tonight, and thanks very much for the invitation.
Now, let's talk about drought and this overall thrust that was an article in one of the papers today about some admissions from some of your fellow mayors that they either weren't ready for it, were surprised by its intensity. Let's deal with that first. What has been any of the failings, at least from your perspective, about either Orange or other councils when it comes to drought preparation?
Well, look, I'll speak about Orange. Like, we look back in the previous drought, the Millennium Drought, and we had a water management plan put in place, and we've spent, with grants and so forth, in the vicinity of $90 million to secure our water, looking forward, you know, knowing that another drought would come or another dry period of time would come. And that's included stormwater harvesting for potable water, the first in Australia, pipeline into the Macquarie River, and a very, very important education campaign
that puts us on restrictions that people have been used to all the way through, and that way we use our water more efficiently and effectively, and we've got the lowest consumptive use in Australia.
So give me an idea about what local council does. We hear that the federal government is slicing up $1 million grants. They give them to councils. What does $1 million do for Orange?
Oh, look, a lot. If we looked at one of our projects with the stormwater harvestings, that was a multi-million-dollar project. And you wouldn't be able to do that without state and federal funding support. There's no doubt about that. You've only got a certain rate base. And we're all the time looking at other ways to secure more water for our region. We're a very fast-growing region. We have a multiplicity of industries here, everything from gold mining through to wine, grapes and manufacturing. So, and I think it's incumbent on every city, including Sydney, where you are tonight. I mean, it's quite interesting. Look at the phenomenal growth of Sydney and how big it's getting. Have they really looked at if they've got sufficient water for another 2 or 3 million people in a really dry period? I guess they haven't.
Well, there's a battle where there's one major water source, that being the Warragamba Dam, and they won't let them grow the size of the dam. The UN's getting involved in that one.
I know. Look, you've got to look. We definitely need dams for storage. We've got to get away from this. No more dams. Look, our population is growing. We're not going to decrease in population. And people who want to have a reasonable life and have a family, and our population is going to grow. We're going to have more storage. Like, you know, that's a no-brainer.
See, only a bloke called Reg could have such common sense in our political world, and I appreciate them hearing that. I hope that goes up the chain. What could state or federal government do better? Is there, a world of paperwork that needs to be moved? Do people need to pick up the phone more often? What can they do better? You're thankful for the money, and they're not about to take anything off if you say anything bad about them, Reg?
No, look, I think what's really, really important, and we've been doing this, we've been engaging with government, whoever's in government, right through the processes that we've been through, and that's very, very important. Also in this region, where Centroc, it's called a joint organisation of councils now, 11 councils plus Central Tablelands Water. It goes from Oberon, Bathurst, across to Cowra, right out to Condobolin. And we have a water management plan for our Central Tablelands area, and we want to be linked up by pipes in the future so we can move water from places where there is water to places where there may not be water. And by the way, it's not only for drought. You may have some sort of contamination in the water supply where you've got to get potable water across to a community or a town or a village, and it could be to do maintenance on certain sorts of pumps or whatever it may be. And I think the future in Australia is looking at your storages, looking where you're getting your water from and moving it around via pipes so you don't get that incredible evaporative loss and seepage loss that we do in some of our systems as we have them now.
Agree completely. Last one for you. Also, the need to keep the towns ticking over. We've talked a lot about lots of wonderful little efforts where people can, through Instagram, Facebook, buy things from regional areas. Buy from the Bush is a wonderful campaign. I know that people can, I keep talking about this a lot too. If you're thinking still about where you're going to have your Christmas party or a retreat or where you're planning your holiday, book directly with a place like Orange, call the local motel, and let's keep that thing ticking over as well, because that's just as important as everything else, isn't it, Reg?
Look, it is important. We've got 200 business people tomorrow, and we've got the Minister for Small Business and Finance here in Orange, and that's one of the things we're going to discuss. He's looking at ways to help the bush, if you like, and that's a real good way. People come out here and do their Christmas shopping, or go online shopping to shops within our regions. All of those things actually help the economy tick over until we come out of this horrible drought.
Good on you, Reg. Let's keep talking, OK? All the best to you and everyone in the central west of New South Wales.
Fantastic.
All right,
Thank you.
Thank you, mate.